Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel and to another episode. And in today's episode, it's something a little bit different and something which I wanted to talk about because I don't think there's enough sort of awareness going on around it. And that is ultimately mental health in men, depression, within entrepreneurs and business people within business. You don't have to be running your own business. You could just be working for, within a business environment. And this has obviously come off the back of the incredibly sad news this week that Chester Bennington from Linkin Park has taken his own life. And it seems to have hit sort of my generation. Like a lot of my friends have really taken this quite badly, because we grew up with Linkin Park. When they first came onto the scene, that was the cool music to listen to. And a lot of that music, it sort of speaks to my friends, my generation, quite a lot. And then just a few weeks before that, Chris Cornell from Audioslave did the same thing, took his own life. And I mean, we can go back and think about Kurt Cobain, and even more recently Robin Williams. So obviously not music related, but there's something going wrong. And this is the thing, is like when you look at Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, or Chris Cornell, or Robin Williams, you would ask the question, what have they got to be sad about? What is called, why would they take their own life? And I think the fact that you even have to ask that question tells you that there's something wrong. I can look at my life and imagine, Robin Williams, he mustn't have to worry about money or paying the mortgage or anything like that. And yet he still was that sad inside that he saw no other chance than to take his own life. And that is, I think there's this stigma around men and mental health that we, being men and being manly and, having the banter with the lads and all that sort of stuff is how we cope. We shouldn't be sad. It's not a manly thing to be. We should be the tough guys who, don't acknowledge weakness. We're the strong ones. And ultimately, I think that's a very dangerous way to look at things. And this is why I want to make this video, because I know statistically someone who watches this video will have, been depressed on some, I'm not saying suicidal, but they will have, they will battle depression at some point in their lives. And I think that feeling alone and feeling that you cannot talk to someone is one of the hardest things in the world. And just throwing this out there, I'm not an expert by any means of the situation, by any stretch of the imagination. I have a fantastic support network around me with my parents. They all have been fantastic. And, I would not class myself as depressed, or certainly not suicidal. But it's, running a business is not hard. Is not easy. You go through hard times. And there is times when certain thoughts creep into your head. Are you doing the right thing? Have you made the right decision? Would it not be easier if you just, wrapped it all up and went and lived a normal life? And as much as or you should know, if you're running a business, that you're doing it for the right reasons, and it's because you genuinely want to, sometimes when things don't go to plan, or things, seem, every business goes through hard times. It's not all plain sailing, I assure you. In fact, this was something myself, Matt, and John were talking about just yesterday when we had the meeting in Manchester. It's like every business goes through tough times, and sometimes you need the tough times in order to kick you in the right direction. But sometimes the tough times can be really tough, and they can leave people with a sense of not knowing where to turn, almost being ashamed, feeling that there's no way out. And it's at that point where I think now, as men, This isn't just a men issue by any stretch of the imagination, but it seems to be more and more prevalent in men that they're deciding that the only answer is to end their lives. And the thought of any of my friends who are watching this right now, or any of my subscribers who are watching this right now, going through that exact feeling of feeling hopeless, feeling that they have no one to talk to, I can't sit here and think about that possibility without trying to reach out and say that if you are struggling in whatever it is, I want you to reach out to me, and you can email me, we can arrange a Skype call if you want to talk in person. But I know sometimes talking in person isn't the easiest thing to do. And even if you don't want to talk to me, because like I said, I'm not an expert. I just want to try and help people. I want people to start talking more about mental health and how they're feeling. Because like I said, as much, if someone like Chester Bennington, Chris Cornell, Robin Williams can take their own life, people who, we look up to as being incredibly successful in what they do, if they can feel hopeless and like there's no way out, so can anyone. And I'd hate for anyone who I could potentially help to feel that way and feel that nobody cares, because I care. I genuinely care. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making this episode today. And this episode is totally not related to e-commerce, to, very loosely to entrepreneurship. But still, I wanted to try and do something to try and get people talking, get a, some conversation going around this subject. And like I said, if you don't want to talk to me, I get it. I'm not an expert. You'd be much better talking to someone who, knows what they're talking about. But I understand that's also sometimes a tough step to take. In the description below, there is, I think, 3 or 4 links. One to the Samaritans website. The second one is to Mind, which is about mental health. That's a mental health charity, and there's lots of great information on there. The third one is a little bit different. You may not have heard about it, and it's a website or a service called 7 Cups. And it's basically for people who want to talk to someone but don't necessarily want to physically talk. They may just want to chat, like a web chat thing, a messenger. They can do that. 7 Cups is a place to use. I think it's totally free. You can just go and talk to someone, get free advice, free help, just maybe hear a friendly face or hear a friendly message. And the fourth one is an article about suicidal tendencies in entrepreneurs. And I know, like I said, as an entrepreneur, you're supposed to have all the answers. You're chances are you're the CEO, you're the founder, you're the one running the show. We don't have all the answers all the time. We certainly don't have all the answers all the time. And if you feel at any point that, things are getting hard, things are, you want to give up and maybe permanently give up, then reach out. Honestly, don't suffer alone. There's so many people who are there to help. And also there's so many people who genuinely care about you, who you may not even consider. So, like I said, this is not my ideal episode to make on a Friday. Like I said, I usually try and end the week on a bit of a high, sometimes do something lighthearted. But realistically, I think this is a subject which really needs to be spoke about. More people need to talk about it. And if I can do anything to try and make that more of a reality, then great. That's what I want to do. I want to try and help people because, like I said, I know it's not easy. I know it's, times can get hard. And I would hate to think, like I said, I've said it before, I'd hate to think that you watching this right now feel that you can't talk to someone. You might watch my videos and think, oh, it's great, Dave's got it all figured out. I promise you I do not have it all figured out by a long way. However, if you want to talk, check out the links below. If you want to chat with me, message me. It's dead easy to get in touch with me in the comments below or however. I'm more than happy to take some time and try and help. So yeah, that was, like I said, not the most cheery episode to talk about on a Friday, but I think perhaps maybe one of the most important subjects that we need to talk about. I'm not going to say if you've enjoyed this video, but if you've found it in any way useful, hit that like button and please share it with someone. If you've got any concerns about maybe a friend or a family member, and you don't want to approach the subject directly, maybe just send them this video and let them know that, you know, you're thinking about them and that they're not alone and people do care. If you have any comments, questions, want to reach out, comment section below, email me directly through my business, through the About Me page on the channel. I will 100% reply to every single person. With that said, enjoy, you know, life is good. Enjoy Friday, enjoy the weekend, go and do something fun. And I'll catch you, as always, on Monday. Have a great weekend, whatever it is that you choose to do. I'll see you next week.